Well, it has been said that Tiger Woods doesn't just move the needle, he is the needle. And who am I to argue with that? So when Tiger decided that he wanted to design a golf shoe in partnership with TaylorMade, people definitely took notice. Golf Town is very pleased to be the only Canadian retailer carrying Tiger's Sunday Red footwear in select stores across the country and online. Joining me right now is the man who worked with Tiger on the design, Sunday Red design director of footwear, Charlie Hudak. Charlie, how you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
Very good. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with us today. We're going to get the whole story from you, but so Tiger wants to introduce a line of golf shoes, and he wants Charlie Hudak to help design them. What goes through your mind when you hear that?
Um, I mean, it's really surreal. It's like a dream come true, to be honest. I think when I first got the call, I mean, man, I had to pinch myself a couple of times to believe it. But yeah, I think, once I knew that everything that was involved, I was full steam ahead. I mean, how can you say no to an opportunity like this? So yeah, we just hit the ground running and started off. I mean, went for it.
That's got to be a little bit intimidating, though. Like when the man himself says that he wants to design a shoe and he wants to do it with you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for sure. I mean, it's a great responsibility, a lot of pressure. Um, Obviously, the first time I met him, I was extremely nervous. I don't think I'd been that nervous since I like laced it up competitively, but playing sports. But yeah, I mean, the first time I met him, it was amazing. I think we kind of hit it off right away, and we had to get down to business right away. With the opportunity was, I mean, it was a special opportunity. We didn't cut any corners, but the probably the most amazing part of the whole process was, the brief essentially handed to us, myself and Tyler Pinkos, was make the best golf shoe possible. And there was, no limits, spare no expense, turn over every stone. That was the mentality. And it was pretty amazing because I had never, worked under guys like that before.
So you guys hit the ground running almost immediately, and your mandate, like you said, build the best golf shoe out there. It is such a competitive segment of the golf industry. Everybody makes great shoes, right? I think we can begin with that. Um, what makes Sunday Red shoes better than everybody else?
Well, I would just say that, we took insights from Tiger himself. I would say that, like, when he spoke, we listened. Every detail, every millimeter was taken into account. Everything that he said, we heard, and we actually put it into play. Starting off with the outsole, the mid. I mean, the whole thing. It's we kind of have a mentality of from the ground up and from the inside out. That's kind of how we operated, and then we really lean into some design principles. Less is more. Form follows function, and then the idea of gestalt, which is kind of the sum of all parts. And there's a lot that goes into it. It's obviously a mixture between hard goods and soft goods. Hard goods meaning the outsole, midsole unit, and then the upper is the soft goods portion of it. But we wanted to get it right, and I think we did close to 20 different iterations. The first prototype that we shared with him, obviously needed to have some revisions and amendments to it. But I would say, like, every step along the way, Tiger had inputs. Tiger had suggestions. He kind of speaks a different language when it comes to golf and to performance and to the gear. I mean, he really looks at footwear the same way he looks at his equipment, and he actually considers it equipment. And so, yeah, I would say, the insights that he brought to the table, it always felt like I was learning more than I was, guiding. It was more of a learning process working with someone like him. He's the one performing on the course, and, his invaluable insights, I would say, like, just created the perfect storm.
Yeah.
We had, it was a small team. There was pretty much like 3 to 5, people working on the project, like with Tiger specifically. And I think we were all aligned. One of the main objectives was getting lower to the ground. So, and making sure that, like, I think we talked about it, like the 3 pillars were, or there was actually 4, the first pillar being fit. We had to get the fit right. The second being comfort. They're wearing these shoes all day long, sometimes up to 8 hours. Sometimes with Tiger even longer. I mean, I haven't been around someone who works as hard as this guy. The third was the performance, and that's really when he started honing in toward those later iterations, and especially like working with like traction elements. He wanted 4 spikes in the heel, he wanted 5 in the forefoot. We moved those around to make sure that they were like exactly where he wanted them to be. The fourth pillar being like the aesthetics, and he just wanted a clean, like non-distracted, like something that didn't distract him.
Yeah.
He often said that if he could, he kind of wanted it to be like invisible and not distract him at all. He kind of wanted to make sure that he didn't have to fiddle with them or mess with them once he laced them up.
Let's go through each of the styles and maybe you just give a couple of interesting points about each, the cypress, the magnolia, and the osprey. Let's start with the cypress.
Yeah, like I said, like, I mean, both the cypress and the magnolia are built on the same bottom platform. Obviously the cypress is a V-throat construction, and that's where Tiger wanted to start. He's had, he was accustomed to wearing a V-throat, and he really cranks on his laces. He feels super locked in this model, and we took all of his insights and put it into the model that, so that the weekend warrior could, benefit from all of this. Like the key features that he has in his shoe are the same features that, everybody will be able to experience, and the benefits that come with it. The nice thing about, I would say, all the, like both the cypress and the magnolia, they come with 2 different sock liners, one being flat and the other being a massage footbed. And one of the, kind of the storytelling benefits of this is that we put, the top sheet, we made a graphic that was inspired by water. He said, like, essentially most of, like when he feels, at peace and calm, like he's usually scuba diving or spearfishing. So we put a graphic element that kind of evokes the feeling of water. And then on the same thing on the massage footbed, like there's like the massage footbed, but it also has a graphical imprint that speaks to water as well. And
Those
then
are
on
great
the
for me because that's where a lot of my shots end up actually in the water. Perfect.
well,
Absolutely perfect.
hopefully with these shoes that won't happen. And then on the bottom, we also made the the open cell PU foam. We also made, it red. Typically they're either blue or black, but we wanted to use Sunday red for the color, and we have basically put in the time, a little saying, debossed into there with his signature, and put in the time and do the work. Kind of, drafted up from his Hall of Fame speech. And then when we get into the magnolia is, kind of a more heritage play. It's a wingtip. Has, pinking and broguing details
Very
on the
classic
upper,
design.
very
Yeah.
classic in nature. And then it has, the welt has a little pinking to it. It's just a little elevated in terms of, fashion. But the main difference between the magnolia and the cypress would be kind of the open throat blucher construction, which it allows for like a more kind of, I would say it's a little bit more adaptable. So like if you have a higher instep or a wider foot, this might be just a tad bit. There's a little bit of a nuances in the fit. Same last, same everything, but it's just essentially is a little bit more forgiving with your lace configuration.
Yep.
And we do tell a little bit of stories too in the back heel, like again, like with the bringing in the branding, we have like kind of this idea of inside the ropes, and the inside the ropes is essentially the idea that nobody excels more better inside the ropes than Tiger. And that was kind of the story with the cypress too,
Yeah.
with the French cord. It was inside the ropes.
Yeah, I love it. All these little details that there's a purpose to each and everything on this shoe. Talk a little bit about the Osprey because that's on course, off course, the shoe will go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, the idea was kind of, when we first, this actually, the development and the product creation process actually started when, probably at the same time as the Pioneer Cypress. We wanted to have kind of a more, utilitarian model that, could be worn on course and off course. And Tiger often referred to it as the coach's shoe. He said it would be great for, club professionals. It'd be great for kind of a casual round of 18, and also, both caddies and like just it's just a more kind of like I would say multi-purpose. It's a spikeless construction, but we use the same mentality, from the ground up, from the inside out. So we started off with like what most people would refer to as like a cup sole. But one of the like the big differentiators, for us was instead of just using an A crate construction, we actually dropped in a EVA midsole. So it's going to give you a really comfortable, smooth ride. You'll be able to wear these all day long. In fact, some of the folks that we have been wear testing them for us, they wear them everywhere, to the airport. They wear them, at the club. They wear them sometimes. I mean, even Tiger himself said that he's worn them in the gym. So it's really kind of a, as far as the golfer's locker, you're able to kind of have a nice, silhouette. It's still really, very. The idea was that Tiger likes to wear, sneakers when he's at some of the more formal events. He doesn't. He prefers them as opposed to dress shoes. And we wanted him to be able to wear these for any occasion. And I think the first time that we spotted him wearing like an early iteration was at TGL, and then I think one of the just more recent photos was taken from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. So I think if you can wear this shoe at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, you probably could wear it anywhere. But the idea is we didn't want to sacrifice performance. Performance was still high on our list. And then we wanted to have all day comfort. They're logging miles and miles and miles in these shoes, whether in the course or off course. If you're making a run to a coffee shop or whatnot, like this shoe will fit the bill.
Before we wrap up, I guess the question would be, what's next?
I mean, truly with Tiger, I mean, the sky's the limit. He's an active person. He's always doing something, and there's never a dull moment. He's in the gym a lot. He's constantly working on his game. And I mean, he's out and about chasing Charlie and Sam. So, I mean, I think as far as what's next, I would say stay tuned. But we have a lot of exciting things coming. Like I said, working with a guy like this, it's just like there's no limit on what we can do at Sunday Red. And it's exciting. I would say like I'm like a kid in a candy store right now. Just really excited about all the opportunities that he presents.
Well, I guarantee you won't be able to golf like Tiger, but you can wear his shoes, and just by doing that, it's going to make you a better player. We are so excited about the arrival of Sunday Red Footwear at Golf Town, in select stores and online. Charlie Hudak, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time and kind of pulling back the curtain on Sunday Red Footwear. Thank you.